Making my summer, Piggy. Smash a like for Mr. P. Thank you so much there, Kevin. Yes, do hit the thumbs up button there if you could, and get yourself involved in the chat. If you're on catch up later watching this back, get down below and get your thoughts and opinions in about anything we're discussing. Right, let's get stuck into it then. Well, I don't know if it'll be the medical tomorrow, but I think the medical could certainly be taking place in the next sort of coming days. Yeah, obviously what generally happens there is United will have to get that agreement in place with Brentford for them to sort of give permission to us, I'd imagine, for us to actually go and have that medical and get this deal rolling. But it could only be a couple of days away before we've actually got this guy officially announced. Let's get into the latest of it. It is expected, obviously. United are working on a new bid to submit to Brentford currently. Somewhere in the region of £65 million. That's what we're thinking. That's what the latest sort of reports are, and obviously just what it seems to be the case, because obviously we've had two bids rejected, one for 45 plus 10, the other for 55 plus 7.5. Now, it's known that Brentford are looking for a bit more up front, and so, you know, prepared to play a little bit of the negotiation game. And Man United are probably going to go with a new bid in the coming hours. Could have even happened already today, which you know, we'll get into in a moment, but certainly for a slightly improved offer. Now, at the end of the day, we should certainly not be paying anything significantly more for Bryan Mbeumo than what we've already offered, because those are some good offers. But also, in the same token, you know, crikey, loads of teams are doing business. João Pedro's just been bought by Chelsea, hasn't he? Here we go, 55 mil or whatever it is. Bloody hell, didn't take them long to get that deal done, did it? No, there's us just absolutely fanning around like a bunch of hoity-toity namby-pamby fannies, though, and taking bloody ages as usual. So it's getting a bit annoying, really, it is. But, you know, maybe it's this heat as well, pissing me off this evening. But certainly, Mbeumo to United is still being worked upon. You know, we have some updates coming through. Let's take a little look at what's sort of going on. Marco Alcaraz reporting this evening that United are preparing to submit a new bid for Bryan Mbeumo, worth around £65 million total package, with £60 million to be paid up front. What have I always said, guys? What have I always said? What's the magic number that gets the job done? 60 plus 5. I believe that is the magic number that gets the job done. It's a little bit more overall, and it's more up front. So I think they would go for that, guys, to be honest. 60 plus 5, 65 million, somewhere in that region would be good, obviously. There's also, you know, reports from various different people saying that we are in contact with Brentford today over the weekend. People like Fabrizio Romano, for instance, suggesting that we're still in that dialogue of negotiations with Brentford as a football club. And this is also from Marco earlier, just says, United are in Brentford contact today. Clubs keep advancing. Man United keep their optimism to make the deal happen, and feeling is positive. Here we go is still a strong possibility for Bryan Mbeumo as a new United player, per Fabrizio. So, obviously, at the end of the day, you've got to take all these reports online with a pinch of salt. Ultimately, you know, nobody's really got the scoop. And if you look at these couple of, you know, comments we've just looked at there, or these couple of sources there, obviously this guy last week, or about 3 or 4 days ago, said that the deal was agreed. You know, said that the deal was agreed, this guy, didn't he? So you have to obviously take these sources we discuss with a pinch of salt, but we're just looking at the sort of the journalist updates tonight and seeing what's being said. But it does seem it doesn't take a genius to work out that United are preparing a third bid as of right now, or maybe we've already had that contact with them over the weekend, because they're not far apart, these two clubs, are they? They're just a couple of million apart, more than likely. Or at least there's structural issues here that can be worked out, such as the initial amount up front being slightly higher and perhaps less in bonuses and that kind of thing. 65 million, yeah, around about that. 60 million plus £1. Yeah, we take two players to get one player and still nobody sold. It is getting there, lad. I mean, the understanding is that Brentford want a little bit extra money. I mean, there's actually a post here I saw that I just thought was an interesting talking point, right? And that is Brentford, this is via Mike Keegan of the Daily Mail, so obviously take it with a pinch of salt again, but Brentford feel that Bryan Mbeumo is worth more than Matheus Cunha. Brentford feel that Mbeumo is worth more than Matheus Cunha. That's not something that I think, really. I think they're worth around about exactly the same. Almost exactly the same sort of money. They've both come from lesser Premier League teams, Brentford and Wolves. They're both obviously very effective, good players in the Premier League who are 25, whatever, around about that age. I don't really understand why he's worth more money. In fact, if anything, Matheus Cunha might be worth an extra mil, just because he doesn't have to contend with the Africa Cup of Nations and stuff in January. You know what I mean? He's a Brazilian friend, whereas obviously Bryan Mbeumo plays for Cameroon. That's not great for the middle of January when you have to, obviously try and get a big cover there for somebody who'll be leaving you for a while. So I don't know about that, guys. I personally, I mean, if you're talking about goals and impact in the league, he did get more in terms of his contributions last season for Brentford. He did score 20 goals and get 8 assists, so that is better than Cunha. That is a bit better than Cunha. But I wouldn't say there's much difference in between, these two players for a price tag. I'll just get into the live chat, see what you guys are saying there. But for me, they're basically exactly the same. We should be paying 62.5 million for Brentford for Mbeumo, just like we did with Matheus Cunha. That's how much it should be. But they are looking for that little bit too much more, just to make it a bit more expensive there, isn't it? Yeah. You're tired of Mbeumo and all this drama. Same with me, lad. It's the humidity, y'all. Oh, I can relate to your name so much tonight there, my friend. No, Mbeumo's better than Cunha. Well, let's ask the chat, guys. Who do you think's better? Who is better? Cunha or Mbeumo? Who's actually better? I am... Oh, it's so tough. I mean, I'm leaning towards the Matheus Cunha being slightly better. Just because I feel like he is the sort of guy that can really make something out of absolutely nothing. Which he's done many a time this season just gone. So I do think he's like an individual match winner. But, if you just look at the stats, and the stats say Mbeumo's super robust and rock solid and played all the games. He scored 20 goals. He got 8 assists last season. The stats say Mbeumo's better. That's what the stats say. So let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. It's an interesting one. There's not much in it, end of the day, is there? And also, the price tag should be about the same. But let's see what you guys are saying. Yeah, well, that's the news there, Ikara. That's all there is at the moment, lad. We're doing a transfer rundown. If you don't like it, go and boil an egg and then sock it. You know what I'm saying, lad? The bid should be our last. Rejection equals 1. Mbeumo, but close. Mbeumo. Yep, Cunha, Mbeumo. About the same. Mbeumo, equal. Currently Mbeumo, potential-wise Cunha. Equally average. I don't think they're equally average, are they? No, they're like the best players in their average teams, but they are the big fish in the smaller ponds. Now it's time for them to try and swim with the big fishies, lad. Can they do it? We'll find out. But I don't think they're average. Cunha. Yep, you think Mbeumo, equal. I am back in the sweat box, mate. Exactly, lad. Oh, goodness me. I need a couple of chilled out pairs of sneakers in the ice box, mate, for this. Last bid and forget it. Yeah, absolutely, lad. Cunha's mediocre at best. I mean, the stats would suggest otherwise, lad. The stats would suggest otherwise. Who's he a fan of? Sorry, I'm struggling here, guys. I can't see his avatar. I want to take the piss out of his team. I can see he's wearing a shirt. I don't know. Is that Derby County or not? No, it can't be. It can't be. Sorry there, Schlats, but fair play for you getting in here, lad. How you doing? Cunha's better, you reckon? One season wonder. Interesting. Mbeumo, yeah, there you go. Fofana posted a picture on X of him in a United shirt. Go on, Matty Smith. Are you joking me? Cunha for me. Let's go. Nice one, G-Wolf. How you doing? Yeah, I'd say just Cunha for me, but end of the day, stats-wise, Mbeumo's pretty much up there. Obviously, he's got some of the best stats in the Premier League. Anyway, I just thought that was an interesting little point there, because there are reports that they're looking for a similar amount of money to what we gave to Wolves, but ultimately they want a little bit more. So could be around about a 65 million package being readied up very soon in order to convince Brentford to sell him to us. So, I've talked about this deal until I'm blue in the face now. We've gone over all the possibilities. We've gone over the fact that, well, they need to send him to us, because if they don't, then they risk having a player there that doesn't want to be there, and they miss out on a big money move. And nobody else has been able to get a deal in place there with Bryan Mbeumo in terms of personal terms or the interest. It's all about Manchester United. He only wants Manchester United. So nobody else has been able to get a deal done or even had a bid in there for Mbeumo with Brentford. So what does that tell you? It tells you that there's not really that much likelihood that they're going to get any more money from anybody else. And fair enough, if they really don't want to sell him, they don't have to sell him. But at the same time, who wants a one-away player on their hands? So they're going to have to get real in the next coming days, or certainly coming hours, to get this deal agreed with Manchester United for as much money as they can, which, yes, fair enough, from their point of view, you can't really blame them. They're in no rush because they know they can get an extra couple of million out of us. So from that perspective, just pay the money, get it done, 65 million, get this guy in. But I must admit, it's been quite frustrating watching other clubs do all the business that they have done while we're still, after several weeks, tossing it off with this Mbeumo business. Very annoying. I mean, look at this. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Got a here we go from Fab earlier on for João Pedro to Chelsea. Agreement done. Club to club for fee in excess of £50 million. João will travel on Tuesday for medical tests and contract signing, ready for FIFA Club World Cup. So, I mean, they're obviously doing the absolute bits here, aren't they, early doors? They've done a couple of big forward signings. They got Liam Delap, now João Pedro as well, who would have been a good addition for a club like us right now, in all fairness. So that is a good deal for them. It's a good move. It's a big piece of business, which they've done quickly. They've wrapped it up swiftly, and they're working on other players. So I must admit, I'm starting to get annoyed. You know, United aren't just working slowly, we're working worse than a lot of other teams are doing also. And then, don't even get me started on the outgoings front. The incoming situation at United is super depressing with us not being able to do any business. Bringing in the likes of, trying to still get Mbeumo, and we haven't got a goalie or a striker. The incomings is a real problem. But the outgoings is pure drama. We just got to hope we can sell players in the first part of July. But, Sancho doesn't want to go because of the cash. Rashford's probably not wanted by anyone because of the money involved. Garnacho's a spoilt little light bulb-headed melt, so nobody's really lining up at the moment, it seems. We might only be able to just sell about Anthony Dos Gastos, and that's about it. So, it's really not looking too good at the moment, this window. Starting to really annoy me and worry me, because other clubs are doing bits. Other clubs are doing well this transfer window and bringing lots of players in. Liverpool have had a big flurry. City have had a big flurry. Chelsea, even Arsenal got a few now. So we are well behind. We're well behind where we need to be. And we were behind everybody anyway. Fucking hell. So, now this is piss poor, actually. We need some sort of symbolic statement now from the Glazers, shithouses, and Sir Jimmy Twatcliffe. That's right, I said it. You know why? Because what the freak's going on, guys, when all these other clubs are doing business and Man United are still fanning around like a bunch of fannies and haven't even addressed any of the positions in the team? Do these guys want us to be a decent football club, or do they want us to be a bang-average football club playing in a new plush stadium? So I saw they asked all a bunch of season ticket holders and fans, they want to have like a fan forum or whatever it is to discuss and brainstorm about ideas for the new stadium and all this shit that they're going to languish the club in further debt with, no doubt, when we should be talking about plans of action to make this fucking football team great again, rather than make the fucking stadium better. So these guys, they have to just start pulling their fingers out and actually pulling the triggers on some deals here and getting some deals in. There is players out there we can bring in. There is players that would be itching to play for United, but for some reason, no matter the deal, we seem to take a long old time about it. Other clubs, not so much. Other clubs can agree deals quickly, but United, once again, pulling our plonker in slow motion. It's a disgrace and a nonsense. It really is. This never used to happen back in the day, in the Fergie days. Okay, sometimes there was some protracted negotiations, but it was like team players were so eager to join us. Now, crikey, we are really not that appealing to footballers. Like a nostril hair in your sandwich. We're just so unappealing for these players, it seems, anyway, because otherwise what's the reason for this? Why aren't we able to do any business? Why aren't we able to get these players in? I mean, there's another link here. Look, United registered an early interest in Colombian Richard Rios. Club will need to sell a midfielder to potentially buy one, plus other European clubs interested, as a price tag of around £30 million. Yeah, nice one. All we do is register interest, monitor players, monitor FC. Let's buy someone. Wouldn't it be nice if you just woke up tomorrow morning, right, and you just heard, rather than hearing some bullshit story like this, wouldn't it be nice if you just woke up in the morning and you heard Manchester United have reached an agreement with Jonathan David? Here we go. Why the fuck not? Why is that not being worked on behind the scenes? Why is that not being worked on right now? Why couldn't it just be announced in one fell swoop? Why does it have to take fucking weeks? Other clubs are doing it. I only really heard about this link really with Chelsea for João Pedro yesterday, for Pete's sake. And they've already got him. So I don't think it takes very long if you know what you're doing, I think it takes very long if you know what you're doing and you're actually prepared to negotiate and maybe also prepared to pay certain monies up front, which is something that United are shying away from these days, it seems. By the way, we got 237 legends in here. Shout out to the legends that are in here. We've got 230 people watching and 88 likes. Now, if that's not a Rasmus Højlund ratio, I don't know what is. Let's get those likes up, my friends. Let's blitz past 100. Give us a like spike. You know it makes sense. Also, get yourself subscribed and involved. Nice one. So, hang on a second. But it is crazy, though, how clubs are just getting all these deals done and now United are so far behind. I know I'm right, Nas. Oh, I know I'm right, Nas. Yeah, we just can't seem to get deals done unless it's a long, drawn-out, protracted negotiation and we're getting bent over financially. There's never... I can't remember the last time we just randomly announced a player. Who was it? Was it maybe Xerxes? Didn't we get the Xerxes deal done pretty quick, I seem to remember? But other than that, it's like most deals... And this Cunha deal, in all fairness, the Mateus Cunha deal was quite quick. But other than that, really, I do think that we are just too slow. We're worse at negotiating than the average team. That's the problem there. It's not just that we are in a bad position. We're just not great in the negotiation. I think the people in charge in regards to the recruitment of United are not up to much because they still haven't really done what we need to do. And it's getting on a little bit now. What did you miss, Griffin? You missed a lot. Hang on a sec. This webcam's doing my head in. It keeps focusing. It's focusing on me, and I don't want it to do that. Hang on. Let me just sort this out real quick, guys. Configure video. 2 seconds. It keeps doing that. It's doing my freaking Sweden, mate. All right. Anyway, there you go. That's done. So, yes, folks. Breathe. I know. It's very annoying. Mark Coughlin, how you doing? Late, no news then. Well, I mean, there's reports that we are going to submit a new bid soon, and I think we all are aware of that. It's very unlikely Man United walk away now after doing the deals and the business that we've tried. I mean, you know, reports such as this one from Marco Alcaraz just saying that United are preparing to submit a new bid for Bryan Mbeumo worth around 65 million total package, with 60 million to be paid up front. Optimism within the club that this proposal will be accepted by Brentford. Advanced discussions ongoing. And then this is via Fab. It says, new Man United and Brentford in contact today. Clubs keep advancing. Man United keep their optimism to make the deal happen and feelings positive. The here we go is still a strong possibility for Bryan Mbeumo as new Man United player, as per Fabrizio Romano. There's an understanding that Brentford still want a little bit more. They're looking for a little bit more money. And the feeling is that we're probably going to pay that money, you know, probably pay 65 million to get the deal done. So that's all it really is. You know, there has been club-to-club negotiations over this weekend for to try and get this deal done. We've already submitted 2 official bids, 45 plus 10 and 55 plus 7.5. We've already done that. So the expectation is probably tomorrow, in my opinion, when we wake up tomorrow or in the afternoon or in the evening, sometime tomorrow, there'll probably be concrete news about us submitting a 3rd official bid. Or, in my hope, just an announcement that it's been accepted and they've already done this. They've already submitted this bid and that Brentford have accepted it and that now we can get the deal agreed and the here we go comes. You know, that's what I'm hoping for is going to happen tomorrow because we need it to, don't we? Oh, steady on there, Kate Cadet lad. Steady on there, lad. Steady on there, Kate Cadet lad. What's your problem there, Kate Cadet lad? Same shit every year. I mean, it is. It is massively disappointing at the moment. The biggest issue, and it always will continue to be the biggest issue, is who's in charge of this football club and the decisions that they make and the people running it. That's obviously going to be the big issue. We've just got to hope that Amorim can work some wonders and save our blushes this season because we were not in a very good position to be able to challenge for anything or do anything well. Even if we do sign the players we want, like Mbeumo, Cunha, Gyökeres, and a goalkeeper, yes, we should be a lot better, but it's not going to solve all the problems overnight. Like, we've got big problems from the top down, so we're a bit of a rotten club, mate. We really are. Thank you so much for getting in here, though, Kate Cadet. Yeah. Am I bored of it? Am I bored of it? Oh, dude. Am I bored of it? You know what I'm bored of? I'm bored of you getting in here and moaning every single night there, Kate. That's what I'm bored of, lad. No. I agree with you. I'm bored of it, mate. I'm so done with it. I don't know if this is like the 28th video we've made about Mbeumo or something. It might be. You know, obviously we've got to keep the show rolling, guys. Do some content covering the transfer window and stuff. But this is horrible. Nobody was expecting to be talking about Mbeumo still on the 29th of June, lad. We were hoping this would be wrapped up and done by now, by ages ago, by 2 weeks ago. Should have been. So I'm definitely bored of it, mate. Yeah, I just want us to now get Mbeumo done. Hopefully they announce the deal. And then, you know, tomorrow or another day, we start to work on some other players. get some players sold. Think about all the gash-tastic melters we've got still hanging on like polyps on the arsehole of life, just still sapping that money out the football club. I'm looking at Luke Shaw, but other than that, I'm talking about players we can actually sell. This would have never happened if Qatar was in charge. I've got to believe you're right. Got to believe you're right, lad. Yeah, thoughts on United target Genk striker Tolo Arakadare? Yeah, I've seen some stuff about him, lad. Apparently Real Madrid might be interested in him. Yeah, we're linked with everyone, aren't we? We are Monitor FC, Interested FC. We're linked with everyone. Let's just go put a fucking bid in and take a chance on him, eh? If that's the case. Look, I don't know enough about him to pretend. I don't watch Genk. I don't know enough about him to pretend, but he seems like a good young prospect. End of the day, Man United needs some quality. He's not really somebody that I would go for because I don't know a lot about him. I still think Man United should be looking at proven Premier League players right now. For a striker, I do like Visser. He's got that link up with Mbeumo as well. So that's the sort of area I'd be looking at. But again, we need some players. Kay Slater, what's happening, you legend? He says this: Brentford want more guaranteed money. They should. United will pay. We know they don't have a backup. Good call there, Mr. Kay Slater. Yes, I mean it's a fair point. They want a little bit more up front, don't they? And we'll probably have to end up paying it. So the actual overall figure may not increase too much, but the initial amount probably will increase to 60 plus 5, maybe somewhere in that region. That's what I think it's going to be. 60 plus 5 makes the most sense. Didn't you think you would have got rid of some by now, Peg? Yes and no, actually. I thought it would be an issue with the whole PSR guff, because clubs are reluctant to spend lots of money. That's what I thought. But actually what it turns out, it's just that United players are so unlikable and fundamentally unwantable that it's difficult to get rid of them because other clubs are doing business. They are signing players. It's just not our players because there's no good value in our players, I guess. So, yeah, I did think we'd get rid of some by now, but I also expected us mostly to do a lot of the deals at the beginning of July. But then maybe that's not the case because as we've seen, there's lots of teams buying players still. Yeah, we must work on other transfers, 100%. 100%, getting a goalkeeper in is of high importance. Do you not think we drag out transfers deliberately to keep fans distracted? I do. No, I don't know. I don't think deliberately, no. Surely a great distraction for the fans would be the great big signing news of Bryan Mbeumo. Surely that would be better. And then they can just ride on that wave for a couple of weeks, in all fairness. So I don't know about that. I feel you, LFE, any Chikawoo Rowland. I'm completely agreeing with you. It is just same shit every day. You're not wrong. Harry Kane, the best striker going. If only we could have got him a couple of years back, lad. You could have pissed off to Spain, come back, and it would be just the same boring news about my club. Oh, I feel you. You're probably right. I don't know. Do you reckon? You reckon we could go on a week's holiday and come back and we'd still be talking about Mbeumo? I bloody hope not. Goodness me. I hope not. Yeah. In the end, we paid too much and end up like Sancho, Hoyland, etc. End up with that. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, pretty poor goings at the club at the moment. There's nobody going out the football club. There's no outgoings. It's just nothing. So I don't think we can really agree on any deals with anyone. It's not that necessarily we can't agree with deals on anyone, actually. It's just the amount of money involved is just too much for these teams to go for wages-wise. Anyway, let's move on from the Mbeumo stuff for a little bit. We're going to, of course, have a Q&A at the end of this video. Let's move on from this. I don't want to bore any of you guys. But ultimately, we're just talking about the latest reports that are coming out and the expectation. And in my mind, my thoughts are, right now, there'll be key negotiations still taking place, and probably within the next 24 hours or at least 48 hours, I would hope there would be an agreement reached. Because we're so close. It's just about maybe giving them a bit more up front and maybe a tiny bit more overall. So I think this will be getting done reasonably soon, and they just need to get it done now. I still feel that. I very much doubt that we're going to pay any more than 65 total. If Brentford do want 70, that may well indeed make it a little bit difficult to get done, because I don't think there's great value there when you look around and look at what other clubs are paying for players and what we paid for Cunha. He's just a little bit too pricey at 70 mil. He's more of a £65 million signing right now, and that's top end. So, yeah, there you go. Get the deal done. Hopefully we get it done. Exactly, Rajat. And then we can start moving on to a next target. But it is frustrating when you see Chelsea getting deals done seemingly in a matter of hours. Very, very frustrating. Let's have a little look at this piece of information here. This is from Fab just a short while ago. Let me get that up on the screen in regards to Victor Gyökeres. So he says, following the sporting president's quotes, and I'll just get the sporting president's quotes up here real quick as well. It's something... Yeah, he said this. Sporting president Varandas on Victor Gyökeres. He said, "I'm not going to say what the price is. The player knows what it is. I can tell you that Victor won't leave for 60 million euros plus 10 million euros. He won't. He just won't." That's what the president of Sporting said. And in response, this is what's expected to be the case right now. So Fab said this, that essentially following Sporting president's quotes, Victor Gyökeres has no intention to come back and play again. Gyökeres has already informed the club about it, as per Record Portugal. Swedish striker insists on the pact made last year over summed exit, now feeling betrayed and tired. So he's not happy boy at the moment, it seems, because he was told that he could leave for 60 plus 10 if as long as an offer came in for that sort of figure. And he said a wicked season, a cracking season, and now they're asking for 80 to 90. So, same sort of situation, really. Gyökeres wants to leave. Now, that's the thoughts anyway, that he wants to leave because of the situation there with them not accepting a reasonable offer or asking for too much. Essentially pricing him out of a move, guys. So it's quite annoying, but the reports are now that Gyökeres has no intention to even come back and play again. So, yeah, I mean, if that's the case, they're going to have to start softening their stance and trying to get a deal done with teams like Arsenal or Man United or anybody that actually wants him. Otherwise, they risk maybe not even being able to sell him right now. Who knows? If they're asking for 90 mil and nobody's willing to pay that, what do? Just keep him then? But then they've got a player there who's not happy. So it's one of those, isn't it? Should get worked out in the next few weeks, I suppose. This is one of those transfers that's going to take the whole window, though, I think, for whoever ends up signing him. I doubt this is one of those that you get done in a couple of days type thing, really. Oh, dear. What else is there? Let me just have a look, see if there's anything else that's coming here tonight, guys. Goodness me, I'm cooking again. What's in here, guys? What's the temp now? 27.1 degrees Celsius. 27.1. Friggin' Nora. That is warm and toasty. Let's take a look, though, see what's going on here. So, Besiktas reached verbal agreement to sign Tammy Abraham from AS Roma. Here we go. Oh, man, yeah. João Pedro and Gittins on Monday. More signings will follow. Bastards. Absolute bastards. Chelsea doing bits. Chelsea doing absolute bits. Yeah, there's no news that's coming here tonight, guys, to be fair. Look, I'm just going to get into the live chat then, see what you legends are saying for yourselves. Thank you for getting in. Just wanted to jump on and discuss the news, have a little chat with you legends. Well, obviously, there's nothing too much more going on. It's just that we're expected to be preparing a new bid for Bryan Mbeumo, a third bid, which should be being tabled as we speak, really, or certainly in the coming hours. And then it should be a matter of Brentford accepting it, because it should be an improved offer, probably in the region of 60 million up front plus 5. That's the latest there. Let's get stuck into the live chat. We're going early into the live chat tonight, guys. I can't be asked. I honestly can't be asked. I'm actually just sitting here. I don't know if you can see my head. You can't really see it because it's like, but I look at, I'm moist. I'm a moist individual sat here, guys. I'm super moist. Oh, right. Let's get stuck into the live chat, you legends. And thank you to everyone who's reposted us on X. I'll shout you all out in a few minutes. Fergie's bastard racehorse did this to us. What about Outgoings? Well, I discussed a lot of the Outgoings earlier, but yeah, I'll just touch on them quickly then. But, I mean, it's the same scenario with them as well. It's boring stuff, isn't it? Sancho wanted by a couple of different teams in Italy, but he doesn't want them because of the price tag. He would want them if we were paying his remainder of the wages, or if they could give him what we can give him. He would want them because they're good clubs. We're talking about clubs like Napoli and Juventus here, some of the biggest, best clubs in Juventus. The bloody Serie A champions want him for Pete's sake, but he doesn't want to go there because he wants £300,000 a week, and that's what he's getting at United, come rain or shine. Whether he's shit or good, or whether he can be asked or not, he's still getting the same wages. So he's just quite happy to sit on it for another year and get paid. Otherwise, he'd have already left the football club and gone to the likes of Chelsea, who had an agreement in place and were prepared to pay the money, but just couldn't reach personal terms agreements with him. And we weren't prepared to let him go and play for Chelsea and then make up the remainder for him to be a Chelsea player. Screw that. It's one thing to pay for another footballer to go and play for a team abroad, but it's not a done thing to allow him to go and play for Chelsea and then pay him some of his percentage of his wages. Screw that noise. So Sancho is still being worked on, but it's very difficult because his wage structure is filth. Very difficult. The Rashford situation is really it's only Barcelona that seem to have some sort of vested interest in him in right now. You know, they're more likely interested in a loan capacity move. They get Nico Williams, obviously. They're not expected to have really lots of money to spend on a very similar player like that. And Rashford can play number 9. Great, sure, yeah, but he's not one of the best number 9s around. So that even, in that deal, that in itself is kind of in a bit of doubt, if you ask me. And then, who else? Gashford. I mean, Gashford, you would expect lots of teams would be interested in Gashford. I don't mean Gashford, sorry. I mean Garnacho. Garnacho. A lot of teams would be interested in Garnacho. Of course they would. But nobody's tabled any bids just yet. Again, they may be waiting until the start of July in order to do so. But it's not really felt like there's a lot of teams that are too keen on Alejandro Garnacho at the moment. But I'm sure there will be some that materialise as the transfer window goes on. But again, nobody has bid for him. Nobody's gone in for him. So what are we saying? We can't sell somebody that nobody wants and that there's no offers for. So, you know, the outgoings is frustrating. I think the most likely player we could probably move on is still Anthony Dos Santos, because he sort of saved himself by going away on loan last season to Real Betis and had a really decent time of it and enjoyed it there, and they're expected to want him. But they just signed somebody else, I think, yesterday for 20 mil. If they really, really wanted him, surely they could have already got an agreement in place with United and got that deal done. So, I don't know, I'm lost for words with how poor United are getting rid of players. But I'm not surprised in the slightest, because it's all down to the wages and the contracts we've given these players over the years. That's the only reason. If these players were on average to even quite high contracts, they would be saleable. But because these players are on ridiculous contracts for the talents that they are, they're almost impossible to move on, because there's no value in the deal for opposition teams. So it's just the same old story. Stephen Shipman, you legend, he says, like you said, yep, we need Jonathan David, Jamie Vardy, the solid freeze. What happened to swap deals and pay January? We need a goalkeeper. Dude, I'm with you, Steve. And there you go. Couple of cheeky free agents coming in right there. A third choice backup, experienced veteran such as Vardy to come in and chip in with a few goals. A really good squad player and utility player, and also just a really good forward player to get in the team. Jonathan David on a free. You know, it's a no-brainer, lad. I'm with you there. So I agree, Stephen. Right, I'm just going to shout out everyone that's reposted us on X, by the way, and then I'm going to get into the chat for a pure raw Q&A. Let's see what you guys are saying, though. Thank you so much to the 7 legends who've reposted us right here. Aaron Homeyard, Paul Nangle, G. Wolf, Kane, Francois Cock, Gary Wadsley, and John Boy Cat. Thank you so much to the legends of the channel there for getting in there raw and reposting us on X. You're legends. Right, let's just get stuck into the live chat, guys. Keep hitting the like button if you haven't done so. Keep hitting the subscribe button if you're new. Get yourself involved and have your say. That's what we're here for, to discuss Manchester United's latest transfer goings on, or lack of. Yeah, at this rate, we'd get a bigger transfer fee for Doris the Tea Lady. Oh, cheeky £1,000 offer there coming in from Altrincham FC for Doris. They know her corned beef sarnies are next level. You know what I'm saying? You sell cheap wage players, but I think you're keeping 2 on high wages, Sally. That's what it goes on, really. That's what it goes on. It's based on the wages. Like you say, the couple that are on not too obscene wages, such as the likes of Garnacho, he is on quite big wages, but obviously not crazy wages because of his age. He's saleable. Anthony Dos Santos is saleable. I guess Højlund's saleable to a degree. But they're all paid more than what they're actually worth. They're all on more than what they're actually worth. But compared to those ridiculous contracts of Sancho and Rashford and people like that, then they are saleable. So I think you're probably right, Matt. It'll be easier to sell a couple of the cheaper wage players, but it will be very hard to sell the high-profile, high-salary players like Sancho and Rashford. The best we could probably hope for with Sancho in particular is just to loan him out abroad and pay a significant amount of his wages to him to piss off. And that is just horrible, isn't it? Yeah, Betis are as skint as we are, yeah. I mean, apparently they're interested in doing a deal with United where they pay for Anthony over 2 seasons, but obviously we're not too happy about that because we need the money right now. What would you do with Sancho if you was in charge? I'd make him captain. I'm joking, no. Honestly, what would I do with Sancho? I'd quite simply try and find a new club for him and cut my losses. End of the day, I'd just try and push him out the door. If he didn't want to go somewhere because they're not paying him as much money, I guess we just try and negotiate with that club to pay as much as they could and then pay the remainder. And it's better than having to pay all of his wages for him to rot. I would not give him a second chance. I would not try him out again. I would just move him on, sack him off, And you would be able to get rid of him if you're prepared to eat a financially shit sandwich. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, you know, nobody wants to pay him to play for someone else. But that's what it's going to come down to. We'd probably have to pay him 130 grand a week to go and play for Juventus. Can you believe that? But that's better than paying him 300k a week to pull his plonker in the back room and do nothing and train on his own, isn't it? It's better than that. So that's what I do, lad. I know, Marie says, why are we so slow? Chelsea making signings, Liverpool doing bits this window, and we've made one. Nah, it's pretty shit so far, isn't it, Marie? It's not up to standard. We're being left behind already, and we're already miles behind. So I'm with you there. It is a pretty poor showing so far in the window. Yep. Are you going to have a rant when Onana's number one keeper next season? If that happens, then definitely, mate. But I don't think that's going to happen, because that would be truly self-sabotage for the season. What would you expect for Rashford and Sancho? I'd expect basically nothing for Sancho and just a loan move. And pretty much for Rashford, I'd expect maybe there could be a deal done with a loan, with a small fee up front and his wages covered, and then an obligation to buy in a year's time for 40 mil or something from Barca. That's the best I think we can hope for. David wants 18 million sign-on bonus and 250 a week. Yeah, well, I mean, that needs to be chipped down, definitely. It doesn't matter what you want. Wants don't get, do they? It's what can be agreed. So if, you know, he might want that as a starting negotiation point, but at the end of the day, good luck getting that. You would chuck your 2k for old Doris. Why are people surprised Sporting demands that much? Remember Benfica and how they sold Nunes? No, fair enough. It's just that it's not that often that you can demand those huge fees from the Portuguese league, because the Portuguese league has a lower ceiling than the other leagues. There's less money in the league. Really is frustrating. Can't believe they get paid so much money for supposedly playing a game they enjoy so much. It is mad. I mean, I was actually having this out with my missus earlier on. She was saying it's absolutely disgusting how these players get paid all this money and they don't even have to be good, and yet nurses and carers and firemen and all this shit just get absolutely shafted. Get Timo shafted, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, but you know, it's obviously supply and demand. It's based on how many hundreds of millions of people are interested in what these people do and playing, and also these players have finite careers. They do only have, like, some of them, if they get a bad injury, it could only be a few years. End of the day, you know, so 10 years is a decent career for a footballer. 15 is a dream. Now, you've only got a short, finite amount of time to earn all that money for your whole lifetime, really, unless you want to go and do something else afterwards. But ultimately, that's a big reason for it as well. But no. They get paid a crazy amount. It's mental. It's mental how much they get paid. It can't really be justified. The only way you can look at it is, well, the Premier League makes so much money, and we'd rather it was going to the players and the people actually, you know, playing the product and doing the games and the football and everything and playing the sport, rather than just some big wig fat cats upstairs. So, you know, it's just, there you go. We're not communists, are we? We're not a communist country, so there you go. It's about supply and demand. The market will dictate how much these players get paid. That's how it is. Who is the most toxic pig, Rashford, Garnacho or Sancho? Oh, mate, that's a tough one. That's like asking which one of the ugly sisters you'd like to take out on a night out. Do you know what I'm saying? That is a tough one. Honestly, I'm going to have to say the most toxic out of those ones for me is probably Sancho. Just about, with his shit-arsery on Instagram with that whole Eric Ten Hag stuff and everything, and not taking his licks like a man, and just coming out on social media and bitching about it. And then, you know, I'd probably say him maybe. But obviously the others have really held themselves quite poorly for a while as well, and Garnacho was unacceptable with his... Maybe even Garnacho with his latest Aston Villa shirt post. That was next level shithousery from that wanker, wasn't it? Goodness me, I can't believe I still can't get over him posting a picture of him in a different team shirt. That's mad. It's absolutely mad. So, I don't know, it's a tough one, but I'd probably say just about Jadon Sancho. What do you guys think? That's a good question, but I think Sancho is about the most toxic, but we'll see. Yeah, remember what happened to West Brom? Had millions and millions and bankrupt because no one advised him what to do with his money. Sensible now, he's lucky to get a bit of work if he gets £5,000. If you say so, Vincent, if you say so. Look, Ronaldo, 3.1 million a week. That's mad. That's absolutely mad contract, yeah. Jadon or Rashford, maybe. Do you rate Mazraoui? I do like him, you know, Rasha. I do. I prefer him to Dallo, yeah. I do. I like him. I think he's very, very industrious. Works very hard. I like him, but I don't think he's necessarily good enough, you know. He's not like one of the elites for us, is he? He's not like we've got a Hakimi or a Dumfries or one of the real, or a Carvajal or somebody like that who's just like one of the world-class players. He is a good player, and I rate him, and I think he's going to be good for us. But still think we could do with a bit more firepower there, to be honest. Onana gets me so nervous anytime the ball comes near the net. Can't go on like this. I can assure you it can. There, spin that. Sancho. I don't think we are heavily linked to Gabriel, to be honest. I mean, we're linked to quite a lot of people at the end of the day. Like I say, Richard Rios link as well, and you know, lots of different players we're linked to. Palhinha and who else? Wilfred and Didi, and lots of different players, aren't we? We're linked to a lot of players, but that's it. We're just linked FC. We're not actually Deal FC. We don't do deals with teams. We just seem to get linked with players and then can't get deals agreed. It's very frustrating. Ugh. Loving this chat tonight, by the way, guys. Thank you, everyone who's getting in here. I am melting my tits off. Sancho, he's way too greedy. Sancho. That's it. And Sancho actually has had great opportunities to leave as well. Many opportunities to leave. In fact, he did leave. He went to Chelsea. He was, you know, they had to pay £5 million in order to give him back to us as a break clause in that contract to take him on as a permanent player. And by all accounts, they were happy to take him on as a permanent player, but he wasn't prepared to drop his wage demands. And as I say, United not prepared to pay him to play for Chelsea. So he could have already left us if he wasn't so greedy, but it all comes down to the money for him. I mean, I get it. It's economics, you know, and ultimately, if you can earn more in one job, why would you leave for another job? But it's not. It shouldn't be a job. It should be about playing the sport and wanting to be a footballer. And money shouldn't come into it. I do wonder, you know, I wonder about little Jadon Sancho. I wonder what happened with little Jadon Sancho before, you know, before this footballing disaster happened. And it's basically just ruined him and his ego and his mentality. I wonder what little Jadon Sancho, little 10-year-old Jadon Sancho who was kicking the ball around in the street, dreaming one day of scoring in an FA Cup final and playing for a team and, you know, dreaming of being a professional footballer. I wonder what that little child inside Jadon Sancho would say. Because I think that inner Jadon Sancho, that inner child of Jadon Sancho would be absolutely disgusted with adult Jadon. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. I certainly know that my inner child would be absolutely disgusted with me. So, you know, I'm pretty sure his inner child would be disgusted with Jadon also. You know what I'm saying, guys? That's what I'm saying. When he was a little kid, he wasn't caring about making £300,000 a week, was he? You know, he was... Jamie Riley, that needs to be... You need a timeout for that, Jamie Riley. You can't make jokes about that. What the fuck, lad? But anyway, obviously, Jadon Sancho, all I'm saying is at one point in his life, I don't think he just thought about earning money playing football. I think he wanted to play football. He wanted to be a footballer. That's every little lad's dream, isn't it? To be a footballer, or if you love football. So, you know... It makes me frustrated thinking that these players here that just don't know the opportunity that they've got. His career is finite. It's the World Cup next year. Piss off, go and take a pay cut and play somewhere else and get in the England team, you twat. You know what I mean? Anyway, Rashford, who has been in the club for decades, is arguably the worst. Maybe. He's also done interviews recently and stuff, and you know, said that he wants a new challenge, wants to leave, and also he's obviously been twerking for Barcelona for this whole summer. Probably dreaming about getting more pocket money. Money should be halved if they can't get in the team. I agree. Performance-based contracts should be more of a thing. We have so many childish players at this club. Rashford isn't the worst. He hasn't at least scored. Sancho hasn't even done that. Yeah, but we're talking about toxicity here. We're not talking about the player. We're talking about who's the most toxic. There you go. I'm sure he loved City when he was contracted to them. Thought he was a Chelsea fan. Thought he grew up a Chelsea fan. Oh, yeah. Well, where was he? Didn't he? I think he was raised in, like, Camberwell or somewhere, wasn't he? I don't know. Rashford turned Sancho and Garnacho to the dark side. It's the club's fault. We should never given him that contract. You're not wrong, lad. Nobody's coming for Rashford. Loans for the next 3 years. This could be worse than Sancho with us paying $8 million a year to cover half of his wage for the next 3 years. That is an issue. Rashford is contracted for 3 years, yeah. Big Andy says, what happened to the days when players would take a pay cut to go play for the team they like or just be happy somewhere? Great comment. It doesn't happen a lot these days. Who's the last player you remember taking a pay cut, guys? I remember Mikel Arteta taking a pay cut to play for Arsenal. I think he took like an £8,000 pay cut to go from Everton to Arsenal. Don, to be fair, that's awesome, isn't it? He knows that he could go and get a good opportunity playing for a big top club there, and so he was prepared to take a pay cut. Not many other players, not many players are prepared to take pay cuts to go and play football, but you're absolutely right, they should be. It used to be about just the pride of competition and playing and representing the team, and now obviously it's all about the money. Here comes the money. Really, Sancho, Wikipedia states that he grew up supporting Chelsea. Sancho, Anthony Gordon spot for Sancho or Garnacho. Not for me, really. Not for me. I mean, I do like Anthony Gordon, but I just don't really think necessarily he's the right sort of player for what we need right now. We've already got, we need like a left wing back. We need like, we've got the 10s. I don't know. Sancho started this mess. Garnacho's brother's toxic too. Yeah, put Rash, Sancho, Garner on the pitch and make them wear each other's shirts. Is this some little fantasy you've got there, TK lad? What? You what, mate? Yes, guys, we've hit 175 likes. So, thank you so much to all the legendary likers out there. Let's see if we can hit 200 for this shit show tonight. Do give us a cheeky little repost if you could. That would be absolutely immense. That would be awesome. Please do get yourself in there and subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. Absolutely. Okay, hang on a second, guys. Let me just check, see if there's anything else come out during this show very quickly. Let me just double check if there is any big news. There is a new post from Fab. Oh, okay. It's just Bayern will face PSG in the FIFA World Cup quarterfinals. Flamengo are out. So Flamengo have just been done up there 4-2 by Bayern München, with Harry Kane getting on the score sheet there. Obviously, that was on right now. I didn't do a watch along for it. I elected to do this transfer news show instead, which was probably a shit idea, wasn't it? Probably a shit idea there. But anyway, we should have probably done the game. But whatever. 4-2 Bayern, that's what Harry Kane scored. Imagine if we'd had Harry Kane over the last couple of years. The mind boggles. Imagine if we didn't let De Gea go, didn't sign Onana, didn't sign Mount, didn't sign Højlund, didn't sign Antony, and we just signed Harry Kane. Imagine, we'd probably be right up there. That's the sickening thing. So many bad choices made at this football club. Do you think we'll get 4 players in by the end of the window or not? I do actually, Frank. Yes, I do. And remember, we've got Diego Leon coming as well. Tomorrow, I think he's actually officially coming, isn't he? Diego Leon. So that's a player as well, but obviously we're not really going to count him because we're looking for sort of more experienced, ready-made players to actually come in. So, but yes, I do think we'll get a couple of signings. I do, but I think it will just take a lot of the window. We'll get Mbeumo taking the piss at the moment. It is, Millsy, lad. It is. Hopefully tomorrow, mate, maybe some positive news about a third bid being submitted or possibly an agreement being reached. Only one side and no sales. We'll still have all the useless troublemakers next season. Ruben will be thrown under the bus by Christmas. Yeah, I mean, I could see him really struggling if he can't get who he needs. He needs to get exactly who he wants. Otherwise, what is the damn point? You've got to give him who he needs. You've got to give him the players, spend the money, and let him shape the team. That's it. He'll be thrown under the bus, mate, if he can't get who he needs and they're not playing significantly better. City offered more than Chelsea, probably. No, I've never been to Weston-super-Mare, Sully. No, mate. No. What? You going there, are you? Why do you think there'll be another goalkeeper when Onana won't be sold? Onana has to be sold before there's a new goalkeeper. Why does he? I mean, the goalkeeper position, it's not the most expensive position to strengthen, really. We can probably get a goalie like Martinez or whatever for 25, 30 mil. It's all about selling players, though. I think we will sign a new goalkeeper as long as we sell a bunch of these sketch players we've talked about. If we can sell, Garnacho, we can sign a new goalkeeper. If we can sell Antony and Højlund, we can sign a new goal. It depends on who we sell. But honestly, if I was Amorim, that would be one of the key areas of the team to strengthen would be the goalie. So there you go. You're gonna find out about Amorim's judgments, I think, if he goes into the new season with Onana as keeper. I'll be very sceptical of what he's able to do because I just don't see how anyone could look at Onana last season and go, yeah, we're okay going into the new season with this guy in goal. Not one person, in my opinion, would be able to think that way. Realistically, they must be crazy. So if we don't get a new goalkeeper, then Amorim's crazy. And it's not just Amorim, it depends if the funds are available. But a new goalie should be one of our top priorities. And we definitely need a striker as well, yeah, absolutely. Gyökeres or someone like that. Football's so money-oriented, and now it's no longer about the team you support growing up. Nah, so true, lad. So true. Although, you know what? I mean, in one regard, it's good or not. I was watching something popped up, like, you know, the NFL draft, when teams get drafted from, like, college teams or whatever into the NFL. And, like, some of them are like, yeah, you've just been drafted by whatever, X team in San Francisco. And then they're like, oh, you can see them. They're really disappointed. And they've got, like, no choice where they want to go. Pretty cool. Any chance Shaw isn't even this club this summer? Not unless Frey Bentos FC from Uruguay puts in a bid, lad. Break out some Frey Benny pie emojis, guys. Our players have become the new Club Glazer family. When's the new kit out? Well, I don't know, actually. I think the home shirt's already out, isn't it? All three need to go either way. Rashford and Sancho need to go. Balance out your financials. Garnacho needs to go for you to cleanse the dressing room dramas. 100% well said, lad. People come to this club to retire. We're like the Saudi League wages for the Premier League. I mean, I guess so. I guess that is a little bit like that, lad. But hopefully we can change that mentality a little bit. You think getting rid of the dross is going to be more difficult than buying the players in? Yeah, I think we'll sell one or two. You know, I think Anthony's very saleable, but some of these are going to be difficult to sell. You just hope this toxic trio don't turn up for the pre-season tour. Absolutely. Joel and Avram, they're crap to have. Friday's Palmeiras versus Chelsea. No, never been to Weston-super-Mare, lad. Never been to Weston-super-Mare, my son. I've already read that. I already did read that, didn't I? Stefan Harringtonio, what's going on, lad? How are you getting on? Oh, right, okay. You have a friend there that I'd like to see, so I'm trying to figure out how to do that while heading to Liverpool as well. Oh, shit. Well, I don't know. I don't think Weston-super-Mare's anywhere near Liverpool, is it? I'm not 100%. But, yeah. Rashford for Ter Stegen. That's an interesting shout, Johnny. Yeah, it's an interesting shout. It's Chewbacca! And Chouamani! Oh, excuse me, folks. Hey, you have a good one, Big Andy. Thanks for getting in. Have a great day at work tomorrow. That's tough, isn't it? Hope you get a good night's sleep. It's baking hot, though, isn't it? I would rather Diogo Costa myself out of the two, I must say, yeah. Put Luke Shaw in goal. He's bigger. Yeah, I know. Come on, next season, then the new manager. It almost does come down to that, mate. Like, if you actually think Onana makes sense, then you should. It's almost a measure of how your judgment is seriously wrong, if that's the case, you know. Black would be a good shout. Yeah, you mean Wilcox for getting a job too with a budget of several red numbers. People don't seem to realise how much money we have lost with the Glazer shithouses. No, you're absolutely right. Obviously, like we're still paying for transfers from the past right now. This summer, apparently, we are spending something like 173 million just on players that we've already signed previously, not players that we're bringing in this window. So that tells you everything, really. Oh, Simon, I hope everything's okay, mate. Much love to you, legend. Much love to you, Simon. Good to see you, though, my friend, and I hope it's all okay now. Thank you very much, Sean. He says, hit the likes. We're nearly at 200 likes. Thank you so much, Sean. Keeping my old new kit, Samarimira. No, thanks. Respect. Send Sancho to the Chinese Super League. Yeah, you looked at the compilation of Onana last night. He shouldn't be in a Sunday morning team. Oh, it's tough, isn't it? It is. But it is kind of easy to make someone look shit with a compilation. I actually watched. If you just look at. I searched it the other day out of interest. Peter Schmeichel errors. And there was a video somebody had put together of Peter Schmeichel making these calamitous errors. Do you know what I mean? You can make somebody look shit. But the difference is, Peter Schmeichel's video was 1 minute 7 long, and Onana's is 2 hours long. That's the difference, you know what I mean? Next year will be a realistic position United to finish, given they have no European football. You think 6th? Yeah, that's about right for me. I think 7th, 6th or 7th, somewhere in that region makes a bit of sense for me as well, lad. Yeah, I agree. As a way back for Rashford, Cunha and Mbeumo trio would be fire. He'd have to do some serious grovelling, and he'd have to show a really much improved mentality and effort levels in every single regard, wouldn't he? And even then, he's not really a great fit for United's team. I suppose he could play striker, you know. I suppose that does sound quite good with Mbeumo and Cunha in behind Rashford, I suppose, but it's not as good as a proper clinical striker. You've got the new black away shirt. Nice, Tom Porter, lad. Your friend Leighton Mills said to me Onana will have the best season for his Man United career. I can't believe that. I just can't believe it. He might have his best career if he leaves us. Best year if he leaves us, mate, yeah. No, I'm not. I'm from Dorsetshire, lad. Bless you, Pigman. Thank you, Do So Dolphin. Miles away from Liverpool. Yeah, it is a long old way. No champs tonight, mate. No. I'm too tired for any of that business, Stanton, unfortunately. I was going to stream tonight on the gaming channel, but I'm just going to do it tomorrow night now because I've done a few streams today already and pretty tired, mate. I'm pretty tired. If United fans focus more on Glazers, then we could fix the problem by not financially supporting the club. Oh, you know it. Miles behind on the chat. Well, catch up then, Mr. Stefan, lad. Sell Sancho to Shanghai. This is a slow window. Other clubs muck in, but we just faff around. Other clubs are getting business done. Yeah, like I said, I mean, earlier on, it's a great sign in there for Chelsea. João Pedro, 55 million or whatever. Here we go. Already agreed. Yeah, Gyökeres from Milan. Liverpool, 192 miles from Weston-super-Mare. I mean, it's a bit of a mission, isn't it? It's a bit of a mission. We have had some great black kits. Most of Sancho's weekly wages spent on bar bills in nightclubs. Thank you, Ryan Phelan. Off the 4 want-aways, who is most likely to play actual minutes for United next season? Out of the 4 want-aways, if we couldn't actually sell them all, I mean, I guess Rashford. Rashford probably could play striker, I guess, for us if he stayed and showed a good mentality. But let's be honest, probably not. Probably not. None of these players are probably involved in Amarim's plans. But if they can't be sold and they have to stay, then they might be introduced back in if they show a good mentality, I suppose. Tomorrow's another scorcher. Are you prepared for it? Not at all, lad. Not at all. I'm prepared to get out of this room, though. 27.6 degrees Celsius, 67 degrees. Or 67% humidity. Right, I'm going to read out a couple more comments, guys. Then we're going to wrap up this little cheeky late night evening stream here. Keep getting your thoughts and opinions in for the final few moments of this stream, though. As always, we're on here. We try and do it twice daily. We're on here for the lunchtime news or early afternoon news. We try and cover all the morning's updates and stuff, even if there's not really that much going on. And we also try and get on here for the evening news as well, even if there's not that much going on, like tonight, around about sort of 10 p.m. UK time. So that's the plans. And then also we cover any breaking news by jumping on straight away and covering it. So yeah, make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon. History Puffin, thank you. You too, mate. Yeah, not too bad. 28 degrees up north tomorrow. Oof. Shut it down, Piggy. I see pork broth. I'm starting to foam here, aren't I? Yeah. It's going all right, Sean. Thanks for asking. I've lost about £7 so far, mate. I'm just sticking at it, lad. It might just be the heat, though, sweating it out. I don't know. Want to see our green and gold away kit back? Should have 1 year every year. It's our original colours and part of our history. Yeah, 100%. Those Glazers shithouses won't want us to do it, though. You know, but that's exactly what we should do. If we got new owners, at Manchester United, then that season that the new owners come in, we should have a full-on, away kit that's green and gold, mate. That would be epic, wouldn't it? Green and gold quarters, classic. What's your striker signing preference? Do you think we can sign Gyökeres? My striker signing preference is probably Visser at the moment, actually. But Gyökeres is very close because I think he would be excellent. He does seem very, very good. 54 and 52 last season and physically a beast. And yeah, Amarim knows him, has worked with him, works in Amarim's system, so it makes a lot of sense to go for him in a lot of ways. I could see it happening, yes. If Arsenal, I think we can sign him, Robert. If Arsenal don't, it depends on them. I mean, they're working on a couple of different forwards at the minute, so it really does depend a lot on them. But yeah, I think we can. Nice one, Do So Dolphin, you legend, says Green Bay Packers. Are you watching some hand egg, are you? What are you watching? Green and gold, Newton Heath colours. Oh, bloody right, mate. So far in the past weeks, we have signed just one player. We have to get more before new season. It's quite sad what's happened. So, obviously, Manchester United is a deeply working-class club, right? It was founded by railway workers, guys, wasn't it? It was like, what was it, like Lancashire Railway or something? It was, was the, like, Yorkshire and Lancashire Railway or something like that. It was founded, it was founded by railway workers, guys. And now look at it. It is quite sad in a lot of ways. Now it's like just the most commercialised brand going with the shithouse owners just taking advantage of the fan base. It's really quite a disgrace what's happened. They would be absolutely turning in their graves, I'm sure, thinking about the exploitation of this football club by the owners. Thank you, Jamal Uddin. I appreciate you, legend. Philly Eagles all the way. Packers #1. Green Bay Packers, founded by a meatpacking company. Heath. It has to be 65 from Mbeumo guaranteed. Yeah, probably in that region. Maybe 60 plus 5, down the road could get the deal done. We'll see. Should be something agreed reasonably soon anyway. It stopped being a working class club in the 2000 era. Let's be real, they forgot their Mancunian roots. I guess, Roy Keane said it himself, didn't he, about the prawn sandwich brigade. You know what I mean? He said it's all about the prawn sandwich brigade and the casuals and stuff and just yeah, fair enough. Great tutor of the past 30 years, taught me well. Oh, you know it. Did you see what popped in instead of Glastonbury 3 I did not see any of that shit, lad. Slices of SIB, thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button, you legend there. Thank you for hitting the subscribe. Yes, if you guys are new, like Slices of SIB, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're on here daily giving you the raw news. You know it makes sense. Okay, let me read a few more out. Guys. It's only 20 past 11, isn't it? Yeah, it's only 20 past 11. Let me read a couple more out from you legends here. We smashed 200 likes! Ooh! Yes, legends! Thank you, everyone who's hit the likes. It does help out the channel, so I appreciate that. Thanks for dropping a thumbs up on the video. Had a 77 Man United tracksuit when I was 4. Was it cool? Because I'm sure it was flared. Oh, I so miss some of the kits I had when I was a kid. Obviously, they wouldn't fit me anymore, but a lot of them are just lost or whatever over the years. We curse for having the devil as our crest. Are we going to set a deadline for Mbeumo before we walk away? Probably not. I think we'll just have one last try with a third offer, and if they don't accept it, then we'll probably walk away. We sort of have to. Yeah, there you go, history buffing lad. Thank you, Do So Dolphin. I appreciate you. Well, I don't know if I'm definitely not the number one, but I'd like to think I'm one of the least bullshit ones, because there's a lot of clickbait guff out there, my friends. There is. Just to kind of get us tonight, make a couple of doobies, plenty of red wine, went in my spaghetti bolognese too. Oh, yeah, that sounds lovely. Or a red wine spag bowl. Concept of £1 billion plus debt would cause any previous United owner to roll over in the graves. Oh, 100%. You know it. We're cursed for having bad keepers. Pound, not pond. How close is Mbeumo? 98% close, mate. We've had 2 bids rejected. We're expected to go in for one last bid, which should be being worked on now. United understood to be preparing a bid for this guy, which will be imminently, placed on the table of Brentford, mate. And, we'll table that offer, and then they should accept it. Slightly improved offer. We expect somewhere totaling 65 million, possibly 60 plus 5, but you never know with the structure. Who knows? I mean, it might take a little bit more up front to actually get the deal done, 62.5 plus 2.5, or somewhere along those lines to get the deal done with Brentford. So that's where it's at. We're expecting that they're preparing an offer right now, and that a third bid is imminent. They've already had 2 bids rejected. Why would they walk away at this late stage when the players already wants to come, and we know that the deal is close? So I'm pretty sure they'll table a third bid, and they will try and get this guy in the next couple of days. But obviously it's still on Brentford to accept an offer and not ask for too much money. Do you know what I mean? Chase the Glazers out all the way to the borders. Watkins next would be an excellent bit of business. Pay them in spaghetti bolognese. Did you know that Paul Ince has been charged for drink driving? And I did not know that, mate. No. Oh, shit the bed. El Nino, thank you so much. I'm doing all right, mate. Hola. I hope you're doing well as well. Thank you so much for asking. I'm all right, mate. Yeah, cooking myself silly in here at 27.8 degrees C, though. Right, folks, that's going to be pretty much it from me, I reckon. I think we're going to be wrapping up this stream right about now, folks. Yeah. But once again, as I say, you can give us a follow on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. Big ups to the 8 reposters who reposted on X. Aaron, Paul, G-Wolf, Kane, Francois, Gary, John Boy, and MUFC Brummy Reds. Appreciate all you legends for sharing it around. Give us a follow on Insta, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and all that jazz. Legends. You can also come back after this video and get your thoughts and opinions in about anything we've discussed on the video, so please do that. And just thank you so much, every one of you legends, for tuning in and getting in here raw with your thoughts and opinions throughout. Great chat as always. Thanks for joining. Back tomorrow with some action. Hopefully some action. Hopefully some news to discuss. Some real meaty news to discuss. Hopefully Mbeumo, here we go. Hopefully at least news of United tabling a third bid. So keep yourself locked and loaded, guys. Thanks for watching. Nice one, Butters. Nice one, History. TK, Rob, always United as well, lad. Get in there. Johnny, Swan. Would I take Greenwood back? We can't take Greenwood back, Matt. From a footballing standpoint, yes. But from every other standpoint, it's a terrible PR move, isn't it, lad? It's pretty bad. We couldn't do that now, I don't think. If there was no audio recording out there, then we could. But because there is, we can't. Signings better start on Tuesday. Yeah, 100%, lad. And the outgoings too. A damp towel around your neck will help to cool you down. Oh, lovely. Thank you, History Buff. Thank you, Paul of the Red as well. Let's go. El Nino as well. Thank you very much, the Cake Cadet. He says, Bryan Mbeumo. Oh, hopefully soon there, hopefully soon, Cake Cadet, tomorrow, mate, maybe, to next day, never know. If not, then, it is going to be a very painful summer. Nice one, Wayne. Nice one, Cake. Thanks to all the moderators like Cake Cadet and all the members like Cake Cadet and Batmouse and all the legends in green. Actually, hang on, all the legends in green with a piggy emoji next to their name. Big ups to you, legends. Thank you so much for being here and supporting the show. And everybody else as well, Steve, Wayne, John Boy, Duso, Simon, TK, Stefan, everybody else, thank you for watching. You can come back after this video is finished, get your thoughts and opinions in the Not Live comment section. Have your say in the Not Live section about anything we discussed. And I'll see you tomorrow. Links are in the description. Hey up, Predator Reborn, what's going on? Yeah, links are in the description. Give us a follow. And thanks for watching, guys. Great chat as always. That's going to be it from me. And I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, Piggy loves you. Oh, actually, hang on, sorry. Before I go, let me just check to see, make sure there is nothing that's come through. Wouldn't it be funny if I just finished the stream? There's a bloody Mbeumo. Here we go. Let me just double check all the latest journal updates very quickly. Just see if anything new's come out. No, there isn't anything new, no. Okay, great. Right, looks like we're working on an Mbeumo deal, though. Hopefully I have more news over the next 24, 48 hours. Big up Jamie Riley, Temesgen, yes, Predator, TK, that's it from me. Good night, God bless, and remember, Piggy loves you. And also remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much. Get in there, you beauties. Thank you so much to all the patrons here for supporting the channel on patreon.com/FlyingPigUnited. As a thank you, all you legends will be appearing on this outro list. Get in there. Once again, thank you to all the YouTube members, but one of the best ways you can support the channel is on patreon.com, so check it out. Patreon.com/FlyingPigUnited. And once again, a big thank you to all the legends that do support the channel on Patreon. Get in there.